Let me start by thanking the brains behind this motion, the leadership of this House from both divide, including Senator Wambua, who really came up with this idea of having to address the affairs of this nation after having some few instances in the last 2 weeks or so. Honourable Speaker, before I give my speech, I would want to dedicate my soul and spirit to the young ones who lost their lives, to the parents, to the relatives, and the entire family, because it is the record that this country lost lives in the last few years, in a few days, out of the protests that were brought by our sons and daughters. Honourable Speaker, I want to convey my gratitude and greetings from Tharaka-Nithi to the majority leader of this House, to Senior Kalwale, to Sifuna, because I've received several messages, even to you, Honourable Speaker, because I've received several messages and calls from people from Tharaka-Nithi, congratulating each one of you for fighting it very necessary to make sure that we have a counter address, because the sentence now is a slap for this country. We have been celebrated across the board, and people are saying this is the Senate that we really voted for as per the Constitution. We have really redeemed ourselves, and we have restored our sanity as a House. Honourable Speaker, I belong to Kenya Kwanza government, having been elected Senator for Tharaka-Nithi by majority votes in the last elections. Honourable Speaker, I'm happy that this House has disregarded party affiliations and decided to confront issues without having to say you come from Kenya Kwanza or Lazimio for that matter. And that is patriotism, Honourable Speaker. That is being patriotic, because as quite a number of speakers have just said, we do not have any other country other than Kenya. Honourable Speaker, do you protect me from the leadership? I can see Medhu is making a lot of noise, maybe from some quarters, Honourable Speaker.
Order, Senator for Laikipia. Resume your seat. Proceed, Senator Mofu.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for that. You know, Honourable Speaker, this government came into being through some very common phrases. I remember we went around the country, and our common phrase was bottom up, the hustlers. That's captioned the likes of Mama Mbogas, the border borders, the Mokokoteni, the wheelbarrow pushers, and any other common person for that matter. And we rode on that spirit, and we were voted enormously for those phrases. Honourable Speaker, I remember the vows and the promises that we made. Within 100 days, we shall have done this and that. Within 3 months, we shall have done this and that. But I'm very sure somebody who is watching me from Tharaka-Nithi, from Ramu, from any part of this country would want to agree with me. We have not been very faithful to those vows and promises. We might have been distracted maybe by some economic issues or policies, but that is not and will not be the expectations of the nation. It could be too early, but of course the promises were in the next 100 days, in the next 3 months, we shall have this and that and that. Honourable Speaker, we made some confessions. We made some promises that this government will be comprised of Mama Mbogas, the young people, border, and it was a common phrase, not exactly for the president, for anybody. That was the talk of Kenya Kwanza. Honourable Speaker, what we have seen in return is total contrast to what the promises were. The boys that are routing today in the streets, in the campaigns, we expect them to be in possessions. But in return, Honorable Speaker, we have witnessed and we have seen some recycled corruptive faces in this government. Those people with indented history of corruption, some serious moral practices here and there, those are the people who are running the government. We have seen people carrying sacks of money in functions in Harambes, out of cronyism, out of tribalism. And it's time, Honorable Speaker, I happen to serve in the Committee of National Cohesion and Equal Opportunities, where my senior Senator Kithure chairs. It is very saddening, Honorable Speaker, to find that in this country, 2 tribes carry 3/4 of the entire public service or the workforce at the expense of other tribes. So one would want to ask, why are other Kenyans taking their kids to school? So those are some of the lamentations, Honorable Speaker, that we are seeing in the streets. And I'm happy that the President was able to listen to some of those grievances. And it is important also, Honorable Speaker, to note that even the budget is skewed to favor some cronies, some royalists. You find some members of parliament allocating them some billions of money in their constituencies for development. This one, Honorable Speaker, has segregated, has made some parts of this country look like they are not in this country. I come from Tharaka County, Honorable Speaker, and there are constituencies for that matter. And I know exactly what I'm saying. So, Honorable Speaker, Kenyans put this government in power with great expectations and remained so that their lives maybe could remain better. But of course, the intentions could have been very good. But of course, Honorable Speaker, up to now, those of us who frequent their localities every weekend, you bear me witness that we face a lot of problems with our mothers, with our fathers, with our common rural folk, seeking for school fees, seeking for medication, seeking for any sort of assistance from those who are elected. It is not something, Honorable Speaker, that we can manage. This one displays some serious levels of inequality in the society. This is not Kenyans really expected once when they went into elections. Honorable Speaker, we chose, after forming the government, we chose to reward the friends and loyalties instead of competence in some cases, Honorable Speaker. That is why here we have had some confessions from some prosecutors of this motion that there is a committee in agriculture. We sat down, prosecuted our case, and up to now, some of those non-corporates are still in office. This one, Honorable Speaker, is seriously eroding the confidence of the Kenyan people. Because, Honorable Speaker, there is no way Kenyans would want to be shuffled by a person who is dented and corrupt for that matter. And it's not only agriculture, Honorable Speaker. We have so many seen cases in this country where we do not have a serious resolve, maybe to fight corruption. We have created 2 levels of living in this country. We have the extreme people who have a lot of money. The haves, they don't even know where to take that money. They have bought so many things. They have bought choppers. They are going around the country with so much money. I would want even to recite what Honorable Garwari said. They are Sky team. They are out of us. Somebody would take a chopper from Nairobi to Thika. A 20 minutes drive. Because money is there. And I'm very sure this money belongs to Kenyans, whom we saw the other day demonstrating in the streets. So this hunger, Honorable Speaker, has been building in this country for the last maybe so many years. But I'm happy, Honorable Speaker, that our young people woke up from both levels of psychopathy, the hypocrisy, and the fallacy, that we are supposed to do exactly what people sent us here to do. Honorable Speaker, The government overlooked quite a number of cancerous aspects in our nation, such as corruption, tribalism, and impunity. Honorable Speaker, the other day, not even the other day, today, Honorable Speaker, in Kenya today, you can do anything as far as you are politically correct. You can walk and do anything that is supposed to be done, including crime. You can kill. We have seen even some of us shooting people dead and then go scot-free because you belong to this section of the government. So I think, Honorable Speaker, it is the high time we restore and install and make sure that we equal